Ohaneze indeed will now have a faction, clearly. There's the Isi Guzoro arm of it, which is not the Anyanwu-led part of it. The Anyanwu-led part of it is fighting to call for Nnamdi Kanu's release, while these guys seem to be going anti what their agenda, this other agenda is. At this rate right now, with the IPOB's demand for referendum, insisting on it, that they don't need restructuring. And this faction of Ohaneze is saying we do need referendum, we need a restructure, not referendum. Again, I ask, are we at the point where the Nigerian government can actually, for the sake of all that is holy, step into this Southeast brouhaha and take a stand and let the world know where they are going to with all of this?
Well, I've said it time and time again that the only solution to this agitation in the Southeast is for the government to call for a referendum. I've said it on your program one time when we were talking about Nnamdi Kanu and the Adaibo groups and other groups that were calling for his release. Now, when you see two factions of a supposed system or a supposed group, then you always know that the government hand is in it. They are trying to sabotage what is happening in that place or trying to water down whatever might be the agitations and it. But I don't align myself with a more powerful to the extent that they've gained momentum for their movement and all. I've not seen any momentum. What I feel is the reason why these issues in the Southeast will not have a solution, or they might not be given the opportunity to carry out a referendum, is because their leaders, their governors, their House of Rep members, and the senators are not tired of milking out what they can from Nigeria. If these people come out to support their cause, then they will have that momentum that he feels they already have. But when you still have leaders that want Nigeria to stay because of what they tend to benefit for themselves and their family, then the Biafra cause will still suffer for a very long time before that is, if it will be achieved. It will take years before it will be achieved. I tell people that it might take oil to get exhausted, crude to get exhausted before the Biafran struggle can see the light of day. Now, the Biafran struggle has been there for a while. The Civil War finished, some persons took it on their head, and whenever they come up and they make the agitations known, the federal government looks for a way to just kill everything or look for their leaders and imprison them or whatever. Like you have Nnamdi Kanu in prison, he has not been released. The courts have made so many pronunciations. We are waiting for what the Supreme Court will say in December. But if you keep on going after these people without calling for a referendum, that means there is something that you don't want, or you don't want these people to actually realize their goal. And I don't know what the reason is. Because if you look at the Southeast and taking into cognizance what has been happening in Nigeria, you know that these people has been marginalized. If I was telling someone that the IPOB that we are supporting, if it's not from the Southeast, he might have won that election. If IPOB is from the Middle Belt or another part of the state, he might have won the election. But one thing that stood against him, except apart from the fact that he was coming from a political party that didn't have a structure as the name implies, is the fact that he's from the Southeast. And I'm saying it with no form of regret. I'm saying it because that is the way it is. As Nigerians, as the federal government, we should be able to tell ourselves the truth. If these agitations keep coming up, let us settle this issue once and for all. Call a referendum. If the people say they are going, fine, let them go. If the people decide not to go, then we know that all these things they are doing is just brouhaha that has no head.